Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we need to build a hive district on Wiesen. Let's just get that out of the way. Oh, and here's another one too. We're going to build a generator district here. Excellent. Okay, now what were we doing? Oh yes, we were fighting the Husko destroyers, and our ship, or rather our fleet that we retreated ended up all the way back at Shap. That's okay, we need to move them all the way over here, but the Husko destroyers are currently being fought by the Consortium, who appears to be fighting them down here, which is nice. Hyperdrive 2s are now done. So with that in mind, let's grab antimatter reactors, and let's also grab, say, regenerative hull tissue. Mostly as a reroll. I don't tend to use regenerative hull tissue myself, although some people very much like it. And now let's get rid of these corvettes, and I didn't mean to cancel the last one here, that was a mistake, but we're going to allow those corvettes to finish. There we go. And now we're going to, once again, upgrade our rapidly changing ships with hyperdrive 2s. So all future ships, and any that we retrofit, will have hyperdrive 2s. We're going to need a second reactor booster over here. There we go, and a hyperdrive 2 here as well. Fantastic. Okay, so with that in mind, we're now going to bring these guys on down. We need to hit this button again, though, to reinforce the fleet yet again. Excellent. We're not going to be refitting them anytime soon, but for right now, we're just going to do that. Now, they're not close enough to Grunthirst yet for that to start taking over production duties from hitting that button, but they'll get there soon enough. I would kind of prefer if it was building out of Grunthirst, but that doesn't appear to be an option because it just builds it from the nearest shipyard. For some reason. I wish you could designate what shipyard it built out of, or if it always built out of the home base, and you could change the home base to whatever station you wanted it to build out of. That would be nice too. But these guys are pretty screwed at this point, honestly. This tech world needs a spawning pool, so we'll build one. Excellent. You can see our line of corvettes following our main fleet. Excellent. Okay. So once we get to Grunthirst, that's when I think we're going to hit the reinforce fleet button again. For right now, that's, I think, not necessary. On Alloys 1, should we consider... Oh, that requires a hive nexus. We can actually do that. I was thinking about upgrading to alloy nanoplants. We do have plenty of volatile motes to make that happen. We have advanced railguns now as well. So, plasteel armor. I think we'll wait and we'll batch in plasteel armor and antimatter reactors and advanced railguns on a new design. We're just designing so quickly right now because we're in this war. I would just let them sit for a while and then redesign them all at once we got everything up to like rank 5, but this is a thing. Oh, hello, our edicts are done. We should probably renew at least some of those edicts. Let's see here. Edicts. Here we go. Definitely production targets and capacity overload. Look at that. Without production targets, we're actually losing minerals. And we can actually go ahead and re-up all of those edicts. I wasn't expecting us to be losing minerals, though. We were losing 20 there. That's not an amount that we can't deal with, but it's still interesting. So once these come in, we'll see if we have anything else that we're going to redesign the ships for anytime soon, but getting that next level of armor is going to be a huge deal. Our armor is pretty far behind right now, so that'll be pretty handy to have.
Accretion complete.
But they seem to have given up on Sechula, so that's great. I'm just fine with that. Was that on Alloys 1? No, that was not. This mining world here, it does need housing. Okay. I feel like another generator district is in fact the way to go there. We need another mining world, though. There's no doubt about that. Tomb world habitability? I'll take it as a reroll. Okay, so far so good. This fleet is super weak, so we don't care. That sounds good to me. And as soon as we jump into Grunthirst, we'll go ahead and hit this button again. We should get ourselves another tech bump. And actually, before we do that, tech bump? Alloy bump is what I'm meaning to say. And before we do that, let's wait for this redesign. So plasteel armor, durasteel armor next. Ooh. Impulse thrusters, so many good things. We're going for durasteel armor, though. So we're going to redesign as soon as these antimatter reactors are in, which is going to be in 1 month. And of course, our shipyards are currently silent. We do not have enough alloy production to constantly produce out of these shipyards. That's not, strictly speaking, a surprise, but regardless. Okay, there's our antimatter reactors. I feel like we go for 0-point reactors next. Now, those are a ways out, and that's a good thing, because that means that we can get a bit of a finalized design here with advanced railguns. And this is a far, far more technologically advanced setup here. So this is a very, very big deal. Let's see, advanced railguns, there we go. Make sure everything else is up to date. Technically, we don't need the antimatter boosters, so we could put afterburners on this. Give it just that little extra bit of evasion, and I just messed it all up. Okay, let's try this again. Advanced afterburners, there we go, and then plasteel armor. Like so. Now, this actually doesn't have enough power, because I didn't do that. There we go. Okay. Next up. Advanced railguns in the center. Plasteel armor. Very nice. We don't technically need either of these reactor boosters, so we can do, for these, auxiliary fire control. And do we want auxiliary fire control or the afterburners for the destroyers? It's like 4% evasion or 5 chance to hit. I think we'll go for that. Excellent. And we'll do the same thing on our battleship, and this is going to be our last redesign for a while. Probably for the rest of this war. Unless we just really want level 4 armor, which may end up being a thing. Okay, there we go. This fringe planet here needs a structure, and I'm going to go with a bioreactor. There we go. Excellent. Now, our fleet, we're going to hit the reinforce button, and there we go. Grunthirst is building 2 cruisers. Okay, whatever. Our ships are starting to get pretty expensive. There's no doubt about that. And I suppose we do need 2 cruisers, so fair enough. I was just thinking it was going to build 1 billion corvettes, but I suppose we already did that. We should probably actually have a leader, now that I think about it. I mean, there's no reason not to. Sublight speed? Sublight speed. We'll go for it. And now that these guys are currently slightly occupied with their consortium friends down here, we're going to come in with our proper fleet, which I believe is now still equivalent. Really? Okay. Fair enough. Well, our fleet is still substantially weaker than its final form. So I guess that makes some degree of sense. We should probably... You know what we could do? We have a ton of energy credits banked up. We could just buy a bunch of alloys like this, and then replenish our energy credits by just dumping a bunch of food onto the market. Easy peasy. Okay. And that means that we're free to do that. And that should get Grunthirst fully occupied for a little bit, anyway. Not forever, for sure. That's a void spawn up over there. We can now see that, thanks to our fancy radar that we actually have now. Sensors are nice to have. But man, are we ever slow. Well, our newer ships that are coming off the line, though, they're not nearly as slow, because they have level 2 hyperdrives. They're 25% faster to jump. And some of them have plasma thrusters. Do all of our ships have plasma thrusters? I don't actually recall. Yes. Okay. Sounds good. Tomb World habitability, that's fine. Let's go for Amoeba Flagella, mostly as a reroll. And now our fleet is finally getting into position once again. So we're just going to do that. We do have a little bit trailing behind over here. Now, I believe that these over here, they have the... I just want to deselect this fleet, I guess. They have level 2 hyperdrives. Yes, they do. Excellent. So they should get caught up eventually, theoretically. Especially when we backtrack. So that'll be a thing. Just go ahead and get another cruiser coming in. Oh, hello. They have a cute little fleet here. That is an adorable fleet, if I'm honest. Also, look at how low our war exhaustion is. That is so good. I'm very happy about that. Okay, 2 more cruisers on their way in. And our total fleet power is... Ooh, they are jumping straight into us. That sucks for them. Bad luck. Yeah, they're trying to run away. I do not blame them. They can't get out, though. They're just guaranteed to die here. Poor Husko destroyers. Yeah, this was never gonna work for them. Okay, come on in. They've got a tiny little fleet there. That's irrelevant numbers. Like, is that actually, like, a transport? No, that's just a pair of corvettes. Okay. Their tech really is low, then, if a pair of corvettes is 144 strength. Okay, this is a tech world here. Let's give it a couple generator districts. This is a forge world here, so we're going to give it another alloy forge. Perfect. Amoeba Flagella, so let's go for gene tailoring. It's mostly as a reroll, honestly. Okay, so we've got this back. I'm going to go ahead and move our construction ship into Sechula, but we're not going to take this volatile moat until such a time as we have taken Nikor. Because that is going to be necessary. Yeah, these guys are not really doing anything. Durasteel armor is now available. We'll grab exotic gas refineries, mostly as a reroll. And while we're at it, let's just go ahead and go through and get Durasteel armor up for all future ships. Just nice and quick here. Level 4 armor for everything, now that our armor is actually up to date again, and I did not mean to filter by slot size. There we go. Or to unfilter by slot size, that is. Okay. And that was... yeah, we got all those. Defense platforms next. Perfect. Just going to double check. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Perfect. Okay. So they have a fair amount of fleets around. We're going to go ahead and hop over here, though, and grab that volatile mote. Because Nikor is about to fall. So that's going to be great. Yeah, this is, literally zero threat. Because look, you destroyed all of our obsolete ships, and now we built ships that have actual tech in them. Isn't it amazing what happens when you actually use the tech you have? Perfect. Okay. We're going to hit that reinforce fleet button yet again, and then we need to decide, where do we go from here? Nikor is ours. Their fleets around here are super weak, so they're not going to be pushing past Nikor unless it's with this fleet, and even then, that's going to be interesting. This is a shipyard. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, we can't actually build in it just yet, but we can get rid of their shipyard. If they do manage to take it back. And I'm just going to queue them up as coming around this direction. And then from there, coming back to here, and then pushing up like this. Now, we're probably going to need to change this at some point. And yes, I would like to extend our deal curators. Thank you very much. We're probably going to need to change this, but that's the basic idea. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are definitely going to finish the war against the Husko destroyers. I promise. Leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.